I'm Chris, and in this video we're going to take a look at proving trig identities. So if you see the title on the board behind me, we're dealing with trig identities here. We're not going to go through the process of memorizing the trig identities. Right now we're going to be working with just the basic ones like reciprocal identities and Pythagorean identities. If you haven't yet been exposed to those, then you're going to want to make sure you take a look at a table of all your trig identities and start with those because those are the simplest, and then you can move on to addition and subtraction. You can move on to double angle, half angle identities, power reducing, etc. So those are some of the more complex ones, but for right now we're just going to be dealing with reciprocal trig identities. And if you'd like a table of those, please feel free to click on the link shown so you can take a look at a table of that and download it or print it out from our website as needed. So assuming you have the experience with trig identities, let's get started on this problem. So here we have secant of A plus tangent of A equals 1 plus sine of A over cosine of A. And we want to see if we can somehow prove that this is true by manipulating only one side of our equation. And that's the key. Whenever you have these problems where it says verify the following equation or verify the trig identity or prove that it's true, any of that kind of wording, you want to make sure that you work with just one side of the equation at a time. Now, we're going to go through this problem in two parts. So in this video, we're going to manipulate the left side of the equation to make it look just like the right. But then in part two, we're going to manipulate the right side of the equation to make it look just like the left so that you can see it actually doesn't matter which side you start with. You want to start with whichever side you feel more comfortable working with or whichever trig identities you happen to recognize right off the bat. So in this case, we'll start with the left and we'll take a look at secant and tangent. So for secant of A, if we think of our reciprocal identities, secant is equal to 1 over cosine. So this is the equivalent of saying 1 over the cosine of A. And tangent, as you probably got introduced to even when you were first learning unit circle in pre-calc, you probably got exposed to the fact that tangent is equal to sine over cosine. So now we have both of these in their reciprocal form and we have common denominator for both. So this works out actually quite nicely for us because since it's already common denominator, we can go ahead and just combine those into one fraction. And when we do so, adding together those numerators gives us 1 plus sine of A over cosine of A, which we can go ahead and check off because it matches exactly what we have on the right side of our original equation. So it proves that this equation is in fact true when we take our reciprocal identities for the secant and tangent and then go ahead and combine those fractions together. So for part two, please feel free to click here so that you can take a look at how this works when we manipulate the right side of this equation. And thanks for watching.